The following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. With my color commentator, Ella the Cat, welcome to San Francisco for our game on the HTFL between the Las Vegas Ironmen and the San Francisco Gold Raiders. Let's take you to it. Vegas coming in 7-3, San Francisco coming in 8-2. I just wanted to show Ella off a little bit. That's all I wanted to do. Right, sweetie? Right. Okay, let's get to our game. It's going to be San Francisco at home. These two teams met a few weeks ago, and it was a heartbreaking loss for Vegas. In Vegas, they nearly had the defending HTFL champions beat, but Steve Young threw to Frank Gore with 10 seconds left in that game for the win. And it'll be Derek Carr against Steve Young again on a 71-degree day, a very blustery day in San Francisco with a wind blowing 15 to 25 miles per hour. And we'll see how that kicks into play. San Francisco won the toss. I play as San Francisco this time, and they have elected to defer, and they'll be kicking. They'll not have the wind advantage this quarter nor the fourth. It's Gafford, Guerin, and Davis. Las Vegas, a combination of the Las Vegas Raiders and the Castaways from all the other teams. And this is a good return for Gafford, 46 yards out to the HTFL logo at midfield. How we doing, baby? Minute 45 into the video. Have to lean in and see what I'm doing on OBS here. Up on the frame. It's Garner and Colmer, an 8 and a 3 receiver. Those are your running backs. Coles and Cruz are 9 and a 7. Davis is a 6 to tight end. Carr, the quarterback. Bruiser Kennard, a 10 blocker. Rasmussen a 7. Oates an 8. Moore a 7. Barton an 8. And that's how Vegas lines up offensively. First and 10 from midfield. The give is to Garner, and Garner's got a hole. 16 big yards down to the 34. And it was Brown on the stop, Willie Brown for San Francisco. And hold on a moment. Had to sneeze there, folks. And it's Haley, Hardman, Namalini, and Stubblefield, a 10 plus 8, 9, 9 respectively. That's the defender numbers. Mack is a 10. Willis is a 10. Wilcox is a 9. Willie Brown is a 10. Jimmy Johnson a 9. Ronnie Lott a 10. Dave Grayson a 9. And those are your defensive starters for San Francisco. The Gold Raiders, combination of the 49ers and Raiders when they played in Oakland and not in Los Angeles or Las Vegas. First and 10 at the Gold Raider 34. It's Carr, and he's got Vernon Davis, a gain of 12. Ronnie Lott on the stop for the Gold Raiders. First and 10 at the 22. We are just getting started. If you have tuned into this point of the video, that's a completion to Lavernius Coles, a gain of 4, and pushed out by Willie Brown. Second and 6 at the 18, as Ellie will follow me anywhere. And this is Colmer. He picks up 3 yards. Haley on the stop for San Francisco. Third and 3 at the 15. See if Vegas could get a 7 out of this. It's Colmer. Gain of 4. Wilcox on the stop. That's another first down for the Ironmen. First and 10 at the 11, so they can theoretically get a first without scoring. But jackpot, baby. Colmer comes through. Touchdown, Vegas. It's 6-0 with the extra point from Justin Tucker. No, that's Gino Capoletti. Tucker kicks off and kicks field goals. It's 7-0. And that only took 3:48 off the clock. Woodson, as we've learned in the HTFL, he is a return threat, but that goes through the end zone for a touchback. And now San Francisco starts at their own 20. Gore and McElhenney, a 5 and a 4 receiver ratings, but Gore is a very effective runner. Wilson and Parks a 9 and a 7. Those are your wideouts in the base formation. George Kittle is a 7 at tight end. Young quarterbacking. Great offensive line. Shell a 9. Upshaw a 10. Otto a 10. Cross a 9. St. Clair a 9. And that is your line for San Francisco. And we'll go trap left with Gore on first down. And Gore got loose, a gain of 8. And the crowd goes crazy. Here at Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. Defensively for Vegas, Eisenhower is an 8. Schwartz is a 7. Kennard, who plays both ways, offensive and defensive tackle, a 10. Houston Antwine is an 8, the former Boston Patriot. And you got Harvey an 8. Bonacante is a 9. Addison is an 8. Asamuga a 9. Fred the Hammer Williamson is an 8. McDonald is a 9. Goldson is a 9. 2nd and 2. We'll go medium. Respecting the win. Play action pass to Wilson. And Young runs for 8. Addison making the stop. And it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Back to Gore, trapped to the right side. Vegas with 8 in the box. No matter the Gore, he picks up 10, just short of first down yardage. And it's going to be 2nd and inches at the 46. And we have 9:22 left in the first quarter. We'll go base formation. Bomb. Who's got the bomb? Well, Young's got the bomb. He's going to throw one here to Wilson. And he drops back. And this could be trouble. A pick. And it's Fred Williamson, his 3rd pick of the year. Nowhere to run. Immediately tackled at the Vegas' own 48. And Vegas takes over from there. 52 yards from Paydirt. 1st and 10. 8:43. Perhaps a little foolhardy for San Francisco to be throwing in a very stiff wind. A fumble recovered by Kennard. And a loss of 6. Stubblefield forcing the fumble. Kennard picking it up. 2nd and 16 now from the 42. And Carr throwing an incompletion, but
pass interference.
You guessed
defense.
it.
Number 24, 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
They flag Willie Brown for pass interference, and that's an automatic 1st down, of course. Move the ball to the San Francisco 48. A 1st and 10 from there. Incomplete. Carr was looking for Davis, tipped by Willis. That's going to set up 2nd and 10 at the Frisco 48. Pitch to Comer, who had the touchdown earlier. He gains 2 yards. And it's going to be now a 3rd and 8 at the 46. See, Ellie, I'm over here on the left, and what I'm showing everybody is over here on the right. 3rd and 8. 7:27 now left to go in the first quarter.
Pass interference, defense. Number 24, automatic, 1st down.
Charles Woodson called for pass interference. So Vegas getting help on this drive with penalties. 1st and 10 at the 39, and Carr. Lots of protection. Tries to throw the Gardner, but incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 39. 6:41 to go. We had that game earlier in the season between Vegas and San Francisco. It's available in the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims series of videos about the HTFL in the HTFL Season 2 playlist. Carr picked up 12 running the ball there. 1st and 10 at the 27 now of San Francisco. 6:27 to go in the quarter. Carr looking for Vernon Davis, but that ball's incomplete. 5:45 left to go with a 2nd and 10 at the 27. And that is a loss of a yard.
Offense. Number 80, 10-yard penalty.
And San Francisco is going to cross their fingers and decline the penalty to set up 3rd and 11 as opposed to 2nd and 20. They're going to roll the dice here and hope they can get an incompletion, which they get. An incomplete pass. So Tucker, with the wind at his back, will try a field goal from 45 yards. Of course, in Detroit, this 21-22 NFL season, he kicked a 66-yarder, which broke the long-standing NFL record, but that is no good. 5:27 left, opening quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of the Ironmen. Gore, off tackle, right side. And Gore is loose into the secondary. 9 yards on that gain. Asamuga makes the stop for Las Vegas. 2nd and a yard. We're going to screen it to McElhenney, give him his first touch of the game, but Young calls a timeout. Must have saw something he didn't like. And it's now second and a yard at the 44, so we'll just give it to Gore and let him get the first down. Oh, no, he could not do it. Loss of a yard. Addison making the tackle out of the University of South Carolina, played for the Boston Patriots. So 3rd and a deuce. They'll bring Branch in as the 3rd wideout. We'll go a short hitch his way. 21. That's a gain of 7, but Young threw it to Parks. Williamson making the tackle. San Francisco in the dark red, Vegas in the white, in case you were wondering. 1st and 10 at midfield. We'll go Gore off tackle left side. And Gore picking up 4. Schwartz. He's returned doubtful. He has injured his thumb. Andre Carter coming in to replace him. 2nd and 6 at the 46. McElhenney on a dive play. And the double tight end set. He picks up 3 yards to set up 3rd and 3. 3:02 left now in the first quarter. 3 wide, and we're going to go Kittle to George Kittle on the tight end slant over the middle. He's open. He's got it. Pickup of 11. Griffin came in as the nickelback out of Middle Tennessee State for Las Vegas. A lot of former 49ers and Raiders on this Las Vegas team. So, makings of a rivalry. A lot of quality players that didn't make the New York team, didn't make the LA team, didn't make the Chicago team. And they all have something to prove here playing for Vegas. Off tackle left Gore, 1st and 10 at the 32, and Gore picking up 6 yards. He's up to 6 carries, 36 on the day. 2nd and 4 at the 26 now. As San Francisco just being very patient and prodding. Branch comes in as the 3rd wideout. Hall of Famer will go his way. Branch is open. A 16-yard gain. I think he'll be a Hall of Famer as of this year. 1st and goal at the 10. We'll go Gore. And we will pitch it left. Gore with it. No gain, and we conclude a quarter. San Francisco trailing 7-0. Vegas ran 13 plays in the first quarter, 57 yards. San Francisco 13 plays, 81. They committed 2 penalties for 17 yards and gave up 1 turnover. A fresh 15 on the clock, and now San Francisco has the wind advantage. And we are going to go to Kittle on a medium slant. Ball at the 10. Instead, it's a throw to Wilson, and Wilson scores. Touchdown. It's 7-6 with 14:50 left to go in the half that just began. And Janikowski just snuck that in the right upright. Looked at my angle like he could have missed that, but he did not, and we are tied 7-7. Gafford back deep for Vegas, and that's going to be a touchback. with Nedney booting with the wind behind him on this rather breezy day at Santa Clara. First and 10 at the 20. And that is Colmer picking up 3 yards. He has 4 carries, 12 yards, 1 catch for 11. See, the game's over here, Ella. Oh, she's licking me. She's licking me. Thank you very much, Ella. Second and 7 at the 23. And that is Garner picking up 2 yards. Wilcox on the stop. Hey, if I have spectators, I'm going to greet them with open arms. Third and 5 at the 25, 14:05 left to go to the half. Carr is 3 for 7. Now he's 4 for 8. Garner picks up the first down there, a gain of 6. And on the tackle was Willis. What you talking about, Willis? First and 10 at the 31. Vegas got 69 yards to the land of milk and honey. Looking for Cruz there, incomplete. Jimmy Johnson providing good coverage. No, not the How About Them Cowboys Jimmy Johnson, but the Jimmy Johnson that was a UCLA graduate. Second and 10 at the 31. Nice catch by Victor Cruz for a gain of 11. Against Arizona last week, David Carr threw for 305 yards. Found on the Action PC community a little earlier today that they have full-blown college basketball seasons from days of yours. I'm in the middle of playing the 75-76 season. That was the year Indiana was the last NC2A champ to go undefeated. Second and 8 of 44. The year before they had only lost 1 game to Kentucky in the regional final. That's a catch for Coles. Gain of 12. He caught 10 against Arizona last week. First and 10 at the Gold Raider 44. And Carr goes deep, incomplete. Looking for Davis. Lott got a finger or a hand on it. And it's second and 10 at the 44. Could this be a project I show you on the Big Pauly's World of Sports channel? It might be. Have my own little schedule for it. Everybody playing 32 games. Gain of 3. Garner on the stop. Third and 7 at the 41 with 10:05 to go. No conference tournament. Team with the best record in each conference advances. Gain of 10 as Carr throws to Cruz. And I think back in 75-76, they only had 32 teams make the tournament in the NCAAs. You almost had to win your conference. First and 10 at the 31. Screen to Gardner, but overthrown, incomplete. Carr now 7 for 14, 66 yards and a touchdown. 8:40 to go. Second and 10 at the 31. It's Carr. An incompletion. Third and 10 at the 31 with 8:36 to go. A 7-7 tie. And Carr throwing. Incomplete, looking for Coles. So they bring out Tucker, who missed a field goal earlier, to try one from 48. We know he has the leg, but does he have the accuracy? Not that time. No good, so Tucker starts 0 for 2. In the field goal department. And San Francisco gets the ball back. First and 10 at their own 38. We'll go 3 wide. And we're going to throw the Cliff Branch on the post route. Oh, trouble here. Bonacani picking up the fumble. He was sacked by Carter. Also forced the ball free. And again, the Gold Raiders hit by the turnover bug. Their second of the game. In just a little under a quarter and a half. So Vegas with the ball. First and 10 at the Gold Raider 26. Screen. Garner, this time he catches it. A gain of 3. That is 2 catches for Garner for 9. He also has 4 carries for 20. Second and 7 at the 23. It's Carr. And that's a touchdown. Cruz, he's doing that salsa dance again. But the Gold Raider fans think it's just salsa con queso. Your extra point attempt, good by Capoletti. In other words, they think it's a cheesy salsa. 14-7. with 7:10 left to go in the half. And Woodson back deep for San Francisco. He will down it as the kick went 7 yards deep into the end zone. We'll go Gore. Trap right. That has been the strong suit of San Francisco thus far. A pickup of 7. So go check out that Action PC community. I think it's apccommunity.com, and they have college seasons. Now, they don't have a lot of the more recent college seasons because Dave Koch sells games with the tournament teams from like about the 90s onwards. But if you're looking for 70s or 80s college basketball, which was what I grew up on, thanks to ESPN, that would be worth your while. Get that 84-85 season. See if you can take Villanova to that unlikely NC2A championship they had. Sweep to the right side, 2nd and 3. And Gore will pick up the first, a gain of 6. His 9th carry of the day for 49 yards. 1st and 10. Young really wants to open things up. He'll look for Cliff Branch over the middle. Instead, it goes to Gore, pickup of 8. Yeah, they both wear 21s because in the HTFL, you get to wear the number you want to wear. 2nd and 2. And Young's going to try the bomb again to Wilson this time in the base set. And this time he lets it go. Is Wilson open? No. Asamuga with great coverage. And it's now a 3rd and 2 with 4:47 left. We'll go double tight end, and we'll go McElhenney for the first. Off tackle right side. And McElhenney stopped behind the line. Carter with the tackle, who came in as a substitute earlier in the game. 4th and 3, we'll kick it. Here's Ray Guy. That's a boomer of a kick. Taken by Artie Taylor, 13 yards. Punt went 49. And that was a 36-yard net. 1st and 10, 4:01 now left in the half. The Ironmen trying to build on their 14-7 lead. Carr looking for Colmer, incomplete. Nearly picked off by Willis there. Out of Ole Miss, 60 tackles coming into this game. And he has had 5 so far in this game. 2nd and 10 at the 24. 3:58 to go. Colmer with a lane, and he picks up 14 yards. Oh, wait a minute. The officials are gathering, and they are saying the whistle blew before the play, so the play will not count. And it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 24. Looked like the officials had to get something calibrated. This is Garner. He'll pick up 11. Different play, different ball carrier, but the same result. 1st and 10 at the 35, 3:46 to go. That is an incompletion. Garner bobbling the ball. His car threw it to him. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Also want to give again a shout out to Digital to Dice. They have started a Patreon page. Go ahead and get your subscription, and you'll be joining me there. 2nd and 10 at the 35. It is Garner picking up 7. And we're under 3 minutes, so I'm being prompted whether or not I want to call a timeout. Delvin Williams entering the game. 24. You see him there. He's a former Miami Dolphin. 3rd and 3 at the 42. It's Carr. He's sacked by Hardman. And I'm not going to call a timeout because I want to keep the 2 that I have. We have 2 timeouts, and Vegas has 3. Set up for the return. And it's Taylor, John Taylor, a 7-yard return after that punt by Babe Perilli. 34-yard punt, 27-yard net. So let's see what Frisco can do with the 2-minute drill. They trail 14-7, and they have 2 timeouts. So look for them to go over to the middle, at least in the immediate future. Branch, medium fly route with 3 wide receivers, and Young scrambles for 12 yards. We'll go no huddle. Medium pass to Parks on 1st and 10 from the 48. And Parks has a first down, a pickup of 15, but we have a marker.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Fred the Hammer Williamson donates 15 yards. So it's a 15-yard gain and 15 more. Clock stops with 1:16 left to go now. And San Francisco in scoring territory with a lot of time still left to go in their 2-minute drill. And we're going to go medium cross to Parks. 1st and 10 from the 22. We'll try to get it right here. Gore, a pickup of 5. Bonaconte makes the tackle. We'll call timeout, leaving us with 1 left. Ball at the 17, a 2nd and 5 with 1:08 to go. We'll save that timeout for when we really need it. And Steve Young saying, "Hey, Mr. Wilson." Medium slant to him, the intended receiver. He's open, and he has 6. Touchdown, Gold Raiders. (14-13). Your point after touchdown is good by Janikowski. And we have a dead even game at 14 all with 1:01 to go. Gafford back deep. This is a touchback with San Francisco having the breeze at their backs. Let's see what Vegas can do with 1:01. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Incomplete, looking for Coles, deflected by Brown. 56 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. And Carr throwing again. That's got to be pass interference, and it is.
Defense. Number 24, automatic. First down.
Willie Brown again getting flagged for the PI. But as I was saying earlier, I think that when you go to the 70s and 80s, that before college basketball went to the three-point shot and the shot clock, I always thought that was the golden era for college basketball. And yes, the games can get bogged down without a shot clock, but I always loved that era because it was the era I grew up in. 1st and 10 at the 32. And a gain of 4 for Delvin Williams. Not going to call timeout. And Vegas does. They have 2 left. There was a game I saw on YouTube in '79 between Duke and North Carolina, and the score after the first half was 7-0 because Duke just sat on the ball the whole frickin' first half almost. 2nd and 6 at the 36. And that's a pass to Cruz. He got it. And it's a first down. He also just barely got the first down. 34 seconds left. Ball to 42. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 42. Still with 22 seconds to go. Raiders, not the Raiders, but the Ironmen still with 2 timeouts. Cruz goes out of bounds. Pick up a 5. 3rd and 5 at the 47, but time becoming an issue. 13 seconds. Screen. Williams has it. Didn't gain much, but he got the first down. Now 2 seconds to go, so I'm gonna call a defensive play here, which I don't usually do. 3-1 deep zone prevent because I think it's obvious that Carr will go deep here. And there it is. Incomplete. That should be the half, and it is. Your score after 30 minutes of play, San Francisco 14 and Las Vegas 14. With the game at halftime, I'll remind you all that this game sponsored by the Pauly Talks Wrestling podcast. And as I record this, it's about 4 o'clock Eastern Time on March 17th. So in a couple of hours, the first episode will be dropping on your podcast app of choice, and we're all over the place on the podcast app universe. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. So go ahead and listen to episode number 1. If you don't like episode number 1, we have episode 2 dropping tomorrow, and episode 3 dropping on Saturday, which I have yet to record, which I'm going to do after this game. Pauly Talks Wrestling Available at paulytalkswrestling.buzzsprout.com, your podcast app of choice. And I also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/paulytalkswrestling. And remember the Amazon commercials I used to do? Well, we have a tiny URL for that. That's PTW related. It is tinyurl.com/PTW Amazon, and that'll get you to the same link that I was using in commercials recently. So your score is 14-14. I got up and fed Ella, and she was very receptive to it. San Francisco will get the ball by virtue of winning the coin toss and deferring into the second half. 39 plays, 165 yards for the Ironmen. 26 of the plays passes. San Francisco has only run 23 plays, a buck 51 in total yardage, and 13 of their plays rushes. They have 3 penalties. Ironmen only have 1, but the reason why the game is close is San Francisco committed 2 turnovers. Woodson back deep for the Gold Raiders. That kick's going to go out of bounds.
Kicking team.
And that's going to move San Francisco's initial possession of the second half to the 40. It's going to be Gore, trapped to the right side. And that gets nothing. Antwine made the stop for the Ironmen. They'll go 3 wide. San Francisco will. Screen to Gore. And Young has to run. And he gains a yard. Harvey making the tackle on third, and it'll be 3rd and 9 here. Branch will go his way on a medium out. 3rd and 9. And the passing game being held in check, at least on that series, for San Francisco. Young has started 8 for 11, 89 yards, just including that last incompletion. Ray Guy in the punt, and with the wind at his back, this should be a boomer, and it is. Taylor with a good return, 13 yards. The punt went 48. So maybe Guy out-punted his coverage a little bit. 1st and 10 at the 24. A 14-all tie. Carr coming back on. First half he went 12 of 26, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pitch to Delvin Williams, and he's lucky to get back to the line. Willis on the stop. All 4 touchdowns coming via the air route. Carr has 2 touchdowns passing, so does Steve Young. 2nd and 10, and that is a throw intended for Cruz, overthrown, tipped by Jimmy Johnson. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 10 at the 24. 2.5 minutes into this third quarter. And that's Cruz, a gain of 12. Woodson bringing him down. And that sets up a 1st and 10 at the 36. So Carr getting a fresh set. Give this to Delvin Williams, who found a hole there. And that's going to be a gain of 7 for him. Delvin, probably best known for being with the Dolphins. Also played with San Francisco in his career out of Kansas. And it's going to be a 2nd and 3 at the 43. Loss of 2. Wilcox with the TFL on Williams. That's going to set up 3rd and 5 at the 41. 10:54 left in the third. And Mickey Coleman runs the ball. Needed 5. He only got 2. So Vegas has to punt with 10:10 left to go, most likely. And the punt by Perilli is going to land inside the 20. We'll return it. And Taylor with a nice return of 15 yards. Robbins on the stop for the for not the Gold Raiders, but for the Ironmen. Robbins used to play, if it's the Robbins I'm thinking of, played for Oakland and was a no-show at Super Bowl 37, which the Bucks beat the Raiders. Well, there have been a lot of Super Bowls now. There have been 56 of them. 1st and 10 at the 33. Give a guy credit. Gore, trapped to the right. I was close initially. 1 yard gain. Carter on the stop. Gore now at 50 yards on the day. But Young wants to throw, and he's going to try George Kittle, medium cross. He was on that team that was just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago against Kansas City. A gain of 15 for Kittle, and Young now 9 for 12. Back to the double tight end set, which San Francisco has had some success with. And we're going to go Gore inside. And Gore picking up 3. It's Kittle who is injured. Speak of the devil. And he will not return. So Dave Casper out of Notre Dame comes in to play tight end. Former Oakland Raider. Famous for that goes to the post catch against Baltimore in that 37-31 double overtime game in the 77 AFC playoffs. In Baltimore. 2nd and 7 at the 48 as Oakland tried to go back-to-back that year. Lost to Denver in the AFC Championship. Trap left Gore. 2nd and 7. Gain of 4. Eisenhower, no, not the former president, but the football player, making the tackle. 3rd and 3. And Gordy Sotal is in as the tight end. Also was a good place kicker for the 49ers way back when. He catches it. And Young is now 10 of 13 and 114 yards. Sotal was a big part of the Season 1 team that won the HTFL Hometown Bowl in Los Angeles against Baltimore. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34. That game available on the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims channel as we're approaching the 2-year mark in doing videos for you all. Off tackle left Gore in the double tight end set, but a marker before the play.
Encroachment, defense. Number 53, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Addison called for encroachment, which surprised me. I'm pretty sure that was a false start, but not to be. 1st and 5 at the 29. I think the very first video I did was OTP Perfect Team, and then the Hometown Football League began shortly after that. 1st and 5 at the 29 as San Francisco looks for that go-ahead score. Gore off tackle right side. He picks up a 1st down and a gain of 5. Gore now up to 62 yards on 14 carries. And Sotal will be the target here on a medium slant route. 1st and 10 at the 24. Sotal is wide open. He will score. And it is 20-14 in favor of San Francisco. And that point after is good by Janikowski. 21-14. And let's see how the drive went. It went 7 plays, 67 yards, and took 4:10 off the clock. And Gafford back deep for the Ironmen, and that is kicked all the way out of the end zone. That's going to land somewhere in Hawaii. 1st and 10 at the 20. I'm kidding, folks. 1st and 10 at the 20. Let's see what Carr can do. He's having a rough day. And he fires a strike to Vernon Davis, 14 yards. Running a lot on the stop. 1st and 10 at the 34. I just had some pizza before I started doing this. And Carr throwing to Comer, incomplete. Hey, I had Papa John's dough, so I had to do it. 2nd and 10 at the 34 with 4:26 to go. Carr over the middle to Davis again. That's a gain of 11. Lott making the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 45. And that is a no gain for Williams. Wilcox on the stop. 2nd and 10 at the 45. It's Carr to Colmer, and Colmer picking up 7. And Colmer is hurt. Limping off, so the fullback will be Frank. George Frank, and I don't think we have ever seen him on Vegas. He's out of Minnesota, could also play DB, and played for the New York Giants in 1945. which was a war year. I think that was that was right after World War II ended. 3rd and 3 at the 48, 2:46 to go. And of course, now we could be getting into World War III if we're not careful. Carr to Davis again, 8 yards. Davis now has made his 4th catch, 45 yards. Carr 16 of 32 for a $1.53. 1st and 10 at the 40. And Carr rolls to his right, tries to find Coles, but incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 40. A minute 59 now left in the 3rd. And Frank with a gain of 2. Haley with the tackle. 3rd and 8 at the 38 with 1:51 to go. Screen looking for Williams, but that's incomplete. Now this would be a 55-yard field goal attempt, but with the wind in their faces, they're not going to try it. I'm going to watch for a fake here. And that punt by Perilli goes 25 yards to the 13. And we're now down to 72 seconds left to go in the 3rd. It's 21-14 San Francisco. McElhenney on a dive play. Change it up a little bit. And a fumble recovered by Vegas.
The previous play is under review.
3rd turnover for San Francisco if it stands.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
And it's not going to stand. It's not going to stand. The play was overturned. And San Francisco keeps the ball. They're at the 16 for a 2nd and 7. And they'll go to Frank Gore out of the U of Miami. And Gore gets the first, a pickup of 9 if it stands.
Illegal motion. Offense.
And it doesn't.
Number 84, 5-yard penalty.
So move San Francisco back 5. It's going to be 2nd and 12 from the 11. Trap right, Gore. And Gore, no gain. Colmer now will be available. We'll see him again when Vegas gets the ball back. But right now, the Gold Raiders lead 21-14. They have a 3rd and 12 to convert, and we're going to look to Soltow. Medium slant route with Kittle out for the rest of the game, and that is incomplete. Let me just profile Soltow. He's out of Minnesota, tight end kicker. 4th and 12, and Ray Guy coming in to punt. Maybe the final play of the 3rd. Taylor immediately tackled by Huff. And we still have 7 seconds left to go in the 3rd. The punt went 52. And nothing on the return, so the net will also be 52. 1st and 10 at the 37 with 7 seconds to go. Colmer ends the quarter with a gain of 2. We have played 45 minutes. It's 21-14 San Francisco. Vegas with 55 plays, 228. 34 of their plays passes. San Francisco has only run 36 plays, 217. And 21 of their plays rushes. They have committed the only two turnovers of the game, and we have had 7 penalties, and San Francisco's had 4 of them. 2nd and 8 at the 39. We play out the final 15 unless we go overtime. Carr to Davis, broken up. Good coverage by Ronnie Lott, the Hall of Fame defensive back. Played corner and played safety. 3rd and 8 at the 39. Carr looking for Cruz, and he's got it. Pick up a 6. But not enough for the first. He needed 8. Got 6. And it will be 4th and 2. And this punt's going to land inside the 10. Remember, Vegas now with the wind advantage. We'll let it roll. Hope for a touchback here. And they do let it roll, and it was a touchback. Punt went 55 yards. The net will be 35. 1st and 10 at the 20. We'll go Gore's way again. Trap to the right side. 8 in the box for Vegas, and they stand him up. No gain. Addison on the snub. 2nd and 10. That was the 16th carry for Gore for 62 yards. We'll screen to McElhenney on 2nd and 10. And Young was forced out of the pocket there. And it was intended for McElhenney. Addison providing good coverage. Still anybody's game. We'll go to Parks on a medium cross on 3rd and 10. And Parks couldn't hang on to that. Hit hard by Williamson. after the attempt. 4th and 10, Ray Guy on to punt. And this is caught by Taylor. And what happened there? A fumble. Nailed by Otto. Recovered by Taylor and the punt returner. So Vegas keeps possession and they start from the San Francisco 48. They need a touchdown to tie with 12:57 to go in the fourth. Carr looking and not finding Davis. He drops it. Emmanuel Sanders is going to come on as a wide receiver and spell Victor Cruz for a little bit. He is down here. Number 10. It's 2nd and 10 at the 48. And Carr's going to throw, incomplete, looking for Davis there on the right side by the numbers. Now 3rd and 10 at the 48. Carr now 17 of 38, make it 17 of 39. As that pass incomplete. Recently had the news that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are each going to ESPN, and they will be the voices of Monday Night Football, which leaves Fox some holes in terms of the World Series and the Super Bowl they have coming up. And this is going to land inside the 10. We'll set up a return anyway. Taylor at the 5. And make that at the 7. He returned it 9 yards. The punt went 41. The net will be 32. 12:33 left to go. Anybody's game still. And we sweep it with Gore on 1st down. And that is a gain of 6. Nick Bonacani on the stop, who is the longtime commentator on Inside the NFL with Len Dawson. 2nd and 4. The ball at the 22. Gore again, trap left, going to the weak side. He picks up a 1st down, a pickup of 8 before Fred the Hammer Williamson made the tackle. Williamson also played for Kansas City. 1st and 10 at the 30. It was very briefly the voice of Monday Night Football. Screen. Gore. And Gore will pick up 5. Bonaconte again. And during one exhibition game, he was doing a replay of a running back making a run, and he said to Howard Cosell, "Even an old cripple like you could find that hole." So needless to say, they did not hit it off. Soltal, medium cross on 2nd and 5. And that's a 15-yard gain. He was replaced by Alex Karras, formerly of the Detroit Lions, and as I've mentioned on some other videos on my channel, was also a wrestler in the off-season, and he was wrestling professionally even when he was at the University of Iowa. I have done a little research on Alex, also known as Mongo in Blazing Saddles, and the father of Webster. Trap right Gore on 1st and 10. And Gore will find 5 yards. Carter on the stop. And it's 2nd and 5. Back to the double tight end set. We'll go McElhenney. Trap left. And McElhenney finds 2. The standout out of the University of Washington was a great running back for the 49ers in the 50s. 3rd and 3 with 8:35 to go. We're going to act like we're going to run, but we're going to do the play action and go Soltal's way. And Soltal, another nice grab, 12 yards for him. His 4th catch of the day for 61 yards. Also did color commentary for CBS on 49er games, if I am not mistaken, with Bob Fouts. Off tackle right, Frank Gore, back in the 60s. There was at one point, I don't know if the video is still there, of a Colts 49ers game, and you're getting the 49er feed. CBS, up until I think the late 60s, they would have various NFL games. And they did, when the 60s began, they did not have all the contracts. There were a couple of teams, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, standing out in my mind, that had contracts with NBC. And NBC, up until '63 had the rights to the NFL championship game, which was the precursor to the Super Bowl. Team with the best record in the East, team with the best record in the West, they would meet, and they rotated between the two divisions who would host the championship game. So on YouTube, there used to be a feed of a 49er game in Baltimore from 1960. Off tackle right Gore on 2nd and 8. And if there was like a game between a team that CBS had the rights to and a team that NBC had the rights to, well, it would air on both networks, but it would just air regionally. 3rd and 4th, 25. Kind of like how March Madness used to be regional prior to them going on 4 different networks as they do now: CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. 3rd and 4th to 25, and we're going to look to Wilson on the short cross here. San Francisco in pretty good shape, and Wilson has the first down, but we have a marker.
Holding offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty.
And that wipes out a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 14. This might not be a bad spot for Young to run the draw, and that's what we're going to do. Just try to keep the field goal chances. Oh, he loses 2. Carter on the tackle. It would now be a 54-yard field goal as opposed to maybe something in the 40s. Sideline punt for Ray Guy. He was a master at the coffin corner punt, as they used to call it. And he didn't get enough of an angle on it. It rolls into the end zone for a touchback. Santonio Holmes is going to come in, and the Raiders are going to go 4 wide. Not the Raiders, but the Ironmen. You see him over there. And Woodson will be guarding him. Jack Tatum coming in as the dime back. 1st and 10 from the 20. We have 5:04 to go, and Vegas still have a chance in this game. No gain for Gardner. Leo Namalini making the stop. Speaking of men who were wrestlers in the offseason, Leo was. Now a 2nd and 10. And this is a throw, incomplete. Carr had to get out of the pocket. Just tried to kind of hand it over to Garner, but that was an incompletion. 3rd and 10. Some fans thought it was a fumble, but not when you move the ball forward. 3rd and 10 from the 20. Ask the Raiders about that. A Tom Brady game back in 02. Gain of 5. They needed 10. Carr found Gardner. Gardner made his 3rd catch. He now has 14 yards receiving. And Vegas has to punt. Perilli with a boomer. That punt went 47. And Taylor returned to 12, so the net will be 35. So San Francisco leading 21-14. We have 3:43 left in regulation. 8 in the box for Vegas, but Gore with a 7-yard gain. And here's where you want to chew up the clock. Imagine it wouldn't taste good. Kennard on the stop. But you want to maximize the amount of time you use between plays. Kennard on the stop, a gain of 7. And we'll go Young on the quarterback dive on 2nd and 3. And he doesn't gain anything. Addison making the stop. So now a 3rd and 3, 2:44 to go. And we'll go Gore's way again, trap left. Hope he gets the first. He does not. Gain of 1, Bonacani on the stop, and we reached a 2-minute warning. Each team with all 3 timeouts and their challenge left. 4th and 2 at the 48 of San Francisco. Guy comes in to punt. And this should come down to Vegas' possession of the ball right here. The punt went 38. Hazeltine made the tackle after a return of 10 by Taylor. 1:53 left to go in the game. Unless we go overtime, it's 21-14. Let's see what Carr can do. He throws, batted at the line, incomplete, looking for Gardner underneath. And they have all 3 timeouts left yet. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Carr, on his 43rd pass, finds Sanders, a pickup of 4. 3rd and 6, and Vegas calls their first timeout. They have 2 left. Watt on the tackle there. 3rd and 6. Screen to Garner? Yes. Does he get the first down? Yes. He picks up 8 and he got out of bounds. Remember, Vegas has to score a touchdown here. 1:29 to go. 1st and 10 from the 36. Looking for Gardner again. Incomplete. Overthrew him that time. Hardman almost got the sack on Carr. And now it's 2nd and 10 at the 36. It's Carr throwing to the sideline for Sanders, but it was an overthrow. Incomplete. 3rd and 10, 1:14 to go. And Carr, another incompletion, looking for Coles again. So this could be the play. Vegas with 2 timeouts left. Probably used them promptly. 4th and 10 at the 36. And Carr going for the first down, but it's going to be short. Holmes with the catch. Only a 5-yard gain, so San Francisco takes over on downs. They're closing in on their 9th win of the season. They will have the best record going, or a tie for the best record, one of those two, going into Week 12, if this score holds. Trap right, Frank Gore. I think Chicago still has something to say about whether or not they will have the best record. No game, and Vegas calls their second timeout. We're down to 57 seconds. McElhenney off tackle right. Picks up 2. 10th tackle of the day for Andre Carter. And now Vegas out of timeouts. 3rd and 8. We're going to play safe here, but we're going to go to Gore off tackle right. And that's a gain of 4. 4th down. And we'll call a timeout with 1 second to go. And Young could just take a knee here on 4th down. And that's it. Because the play would have had to have gone 1 second at least. And your final was 21-14. San Francisco sweeps Vegas. So if they wind up tied, San Francisco will advance on the first tiebreaker, which is the head-to-head sweep. MVP of the game, Steve Young. He threw 3 touchdown passes to Wilson, and Soltal. Sounds like a law firm. And here are your team stats. Good defensive game. We had, by my count, 544 yards of total offense, and each team scored touchdowns when they were in the red zone. Vegas ran 70 plays. San Francisco ran 56, but San Francisco won the time of possession battle. Better quarterback was Young, 14 of 20, 170 yards. Gore finishes a buck short of 100, 25 for 99. Cruz got the most catches with 7, and he also led in yardage with 73. And your leading defender was Carter for Vegas with 10. So your final was 21-14. So that's game number 54 in the books. And we will come to you tomorrow with a recap of the other Week 11 games I did not get to this week. And Philadelphia traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Combination of the Colts and the Ravens. And until then, this has been Big Pauly coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed and God bless. We will do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.